Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a short time ago. This crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Detroit Lions. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, these two division rivals, a couple of late games on the schedule this year. Their first meeting, you might remember, was back in Week 10. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road. So they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Now this defense for the Lions, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. And Mayfield just getting the play off.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Mayfield off the play fake. That'll be caught by Kupp. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a first at the Lions' 24.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. Complete. Smith has it. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there.
Play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Now Mayfield. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Less than a yard.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Mayfield keeps it himself, and he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
But when you do call quarterback sneak, you don't mind if your quarterback's a little bit on the vertically challenged side, do you? Because he's just going to hide behind his big guys up front and be able to surge forward and pick up the first down.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7.
And oftentimes we think about statement drives in the second halves of games, especially in the 4th quarter. But here, it's happening early, a definite statement. They've held on to the ball for a healthy portion of this first quarter already. And now after that completion, they're set up 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Christian McCaffrey.
His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Play fake. Here's Love. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. On play action. Love to throw.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
Love's pass complete to DeAndre Swift. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 45-yard line.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
7, Lions, nothing.
From the 45 on 2nd down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. On 3rd down, Love. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, then you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And we are tied here in the 2nd quarter.
7. Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And listen, these Thursday night games, they're tough on the body. You just played on Sunday, 72 hours later. Hey, it's game day again, but I have to think a Thursday night game in September much more preferable than a Thursday nighter in December, no?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You mentioned how tough it is on the body. How about the mind? You're already tired, fatigued, right? Trying to battle for playoff spots. And here you have the quick turnaround. Now, the flip side is, if you take care of business, win that Thursday nighter, you go into a mini open week. Gives you a few extra days to heal up the body and the mind before you play your next game.
Mayfield on play action. Rolling to, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Boy, you don't have to be a student of X's and O's to know that right there, that just was the perfect play call defensively.
You're exactly right, because what they did really well, disguised their intentions. They never thought that the corner would come on the blitz, but when he did, that QB was exposed and brought to the ground.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
They'll get that to Amir Smith-Marset. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They go play action. Mayfield.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Love now to pass on 1st down. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So if they can win here in Minnesota, they get a sweep of the season series. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Jeff Gladney. And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Mayfield looks to throw. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. A handoff left, McCaffrey. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play fake. Mayfield. Flushed out right. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. McCaffrey. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Again, McCaffrey. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
From the gun, Mayfield. Touchdown! That's caught. Irv Smith Jr., his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury. And it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Love. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. McCaffrey on the toss right. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And that's complete to McCaffrey. And down to the 11. A big play there just before halftime. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Mayfield.
That's caught. It's McCaffrey again.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Christian McCaffrey
As the first half is winding down.
And the Vikings would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Roses now to add the PAT. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through.
So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Thomas. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, and not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Final play of the half, Love. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 38.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
At the 22-yard line.
From the 22, Love. And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing out for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
Love, they go play action now. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
First down, Love to pass. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Gladney. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive in the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Mayfield to throw it. Hard throw, incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Albrecht Rosas on for the field goal, a 29-yard attempt.
Rosas' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Vikings will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
He juked him. McCaffrey with a 1st down and more. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. 71 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, Mayfield gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on third down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it first and goal.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Out to his left. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the Lions force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Here's Love. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Garyon Conley.
And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
I'm starting to wonder, Charles, if 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They're going for Jefferson downfield.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Mayfield off the play fake.
Oh, he'll take a shot from McCaffrey downfield.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play there for Minnesota. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 5-yard
line. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Swipe, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Levi Onwuzurike
just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone.
McCaffrey. Well, the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it makes things a little more interesting now on 4th and goal.
It's now 4th and goal.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Rosas' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Love. He finds his man, complete. That's McLaughlin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Play action this time with Love. He finds his man, complete. It's McLaughlin. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, Love to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And in for the Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season.
And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Love throwing for it.
And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. 3rd down. Here's McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. A give running left. It's McCaffrey. Oh, he shifts past him. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating. Even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground, but both really started to come in sync. So for Minnesota, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Lions,
this loss really hurts their playoff chances as they drop to 7-8 with 2 games left.
And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears.